everyone who said, Bobby, your life is going to change watching this movie. Hold my hand. I love you. I do. No, I do. Hi, I'm Bobby. This is Culture Kitsch, and welcome back to another episode of Be Kind Recap Review, the series where I am recapping things, or in the case of today, watching something for the very first time. And that something happens to be 1989's When Harry Met Sally. You may be wondering, Bobby, you've not seen When Harry Met Sally? No, I haven't. And it's such a blight on my pop cultural acumen. I love rom-coms. I love late 80s, early 90s New York City. I love The Fall. I love Billy Crystal and Meg Ryan. More than anything, I'm a huge fan of high-quality knitwear. So without further ado, and to kick off the month of love, let's watch When Harry Met Sally. I love when movies immediately establish or can match the sonic identity of a place. Like, I hear jazz and I automatically think of New York City, and within seconds I'm already like, oh my gosh, I feel like I'm there. Carrie Fisher's in this movie? I feel like I should have known that. I'm sorry, I didn't know that. It's very fascinating that we're not getting, usually the opening credits are overlaid above we're seeing something, but this is very classic, kind of old Hollywood style opening credits where it's just the score and the credits. You're not really seeing any other visuals. I kind of like that, actually.
And this beautiful girl walked in, and I turned to Arthur and I said, Arthur, you see that girl? I'm going to marry her. And 2 weeks later we were married. And
2 weeks.
50 years later, and we are still married.
Let her speak. Let me tell you something. In the 80s, they were kissing. Not kissing, giving a little or just being very static. They are kissing already in this movie.
Oh, hi, Sally. Sally, this is Harry Burns. Harry, this is Sally Albright.
Nice to meet you.
Not this
ship?
piece.
No, you know,
Not this piece that he's wearing. I was about to say, I would have honked that horn. Get in the car.
Huh? I miss you already. Bye.
You know, if I was an actor, I would love to be cast as girl who makes out with main character man. I don't have to end up with him, but to be cast on a kiss, I feel like I could do that.
I have it all figured out. It's an 18-hour trip, which breaks down into 6 shifts of 3 hours each, or alternatively, we could break it down by mileage.
Get your ass out of her face.
Map on the visor that I've marked to show the locations where we can change shifts.
Why don't you tell me the story of your life?
I know GMOs aren't great, but I don't know, a seedless grape could really go far in this dynamic so far. The spitting every 2 seconds, not doing it for me.
I don't want to spend the rest of my life in Casablanca married to a man who runs a bar. It probably sounds very snobbish to you, but I don't.
You'd rather be in a passionless marriage
And be the first lady of Czechoslovakia.
than live with a man you've had the greatest sex of your life with just because he owns a bar and that is all he does.
Yes.
Obviously, you haven't had great sex yet.
It just so happens that I have had plenty of good sex.
Thank you for sharing. Let me get into the fit real quick. So we've got trouser shorts, button up, and a cardigan. This outfit would absolutely be worn today. At this point, they're in 1977. So I was going to say, this feels like the natural progression from the, yuppie aesthetic, but actually this is moving into the yuppie aesthetic. I love it, actually. Knee socks too? Girl. Oh my god, diva.
Men and women can't be friends because the sex part always gets in the way.
Well, I guess we're not going to be friends then.
Guess not.
That's too bad. You were the only person that I knew in New York.
I'm not gonna lie to you. Harry might have, in President, he might have been on those Red Pill podcasts at this point.
Thanks for the ride.
Yeah, it was interesting.
It was nice knowing you.
Yeah.
He said, see ya. To just move to New York with 2 sacks of clothes and a baseball bat and a dream.
I saw her come out of Tough and Eddie's.
We both looked at each other, and it was just as though not a single day had gone by.
She was just as beautiful as she was at
Aww.
16.
He was just the same. He looked exactly the same.
Oh my god. Ooh. No. They can't keep doing these cutbacks. Oh my gosh. Again, the kissing.
Oh, Harry, this is Sally Albright, Harry Burns. Harry and I, we lived in the same building.
Paths constantly intersecting. Oh, I love it.
Thank God he couldn't place me. I drove from college to New York with him 5 years ago, and it was the longest night of my life.
We're in 1982, still seeing aesthetics of the 70s and hair, makeup, and costuming, but everything is ramping up in 80s in look. Why is he there? Where did he come from? I thought he was leaving the airport.
Did you look this good at the university?
Every time he sees her, he is trying to get at her. Oh my gosh.
Would you two like to sit together? Great, thank you.
Great, thank you. That man was like, I'm not going to do this the whole flight. Let's just switch.
You went with her.
And was it worth it? The sacrifice for a friend that you don't even keep in touch with?
Harry, you might not believe this, but I never considered not sleeping with you a sacrifice.
Red down.
Gwen Hilson, she's a lawyer. She's keeping her name.
You're getting married.
Oh, he's getting married. They're both neurotic in the exact same way, just about different things. And that's where the tension is, the juicy little bit of tension.
Would you like to have dinner? Just friends.
I thought you didn't believe men and women could be friends.
Yes, that's right. They can be friends. Unless both of them are involved with other people, then they can. This is an amendment to the earlier rule. The two people are in relationships.
This revolving door of rules. Oh my gosh.
Years, we got a divorce. Then I married
It's
Margie.
such an interesting convention of
Right,
of this
Barbara.
movie
But I
to
didn't
like
marry
cut between
Barbara, I
this
married Marjorie.
Then he got a divorce.
like love
Right, then I married
story,
Kate.
assumingly between these two people, and then like
Then a couple
Splice
of
it
years
with
later at Eddie Colicchio's
the
funeral,
love story of
I
older
ran into
people.
her. I was with some girl I don't even remember.
Roberta.
I remember I snuck
Roberta
over
has
to
been
her
a
and I said,
point of contention in their relationship for like 40 years. So now it's 1987. Oh, this hair, makeup, and costuming. God, it's so good. It's so good because this is so 87.
There must be someone. Sally found someone. Well, Sally got the last good one.
Joe and I broke up.
Oh, Carrie, there she is.
I think got the perfect guy. I don't happen to find him attractive, but you might. She doesn't have a problem with chins. Just said
See,
you
this
were
is
over.
what's missing.
I am
People
over
aren't
him,
setting
but
up
I'm
friends
mourning
with
too.
friends anymore. Where are the people with the Rolodexes of eligible suitors?
Oh.
Where's that? Everyone's trying to keep their friend group separate.
Sorry.
Let's mix up that salad.
Wait, here. Don't wait too long. Remember what happened with David Warsaw? His wife left him and everyone said, give him some time, don't move in too fast. 6 months later, he was dead.
Oh, wow.
What are you saying? I should get married to someone right away in case he's about to die?
At least you could say you were married.
Helen comes home from work and she says, I don't know if I want to be married anymore. Sometimes
The
I
little
think
bit of
about it,
curl
don't rush
and the
into it.
beard.
Yeah, right.
I'm
Next day,
locking
she said
in.
she's thought about it.
I'm
She wants
locking.
to trial
Truly, I was
separation.
locked in
Just
at
wants
the
to
very
try,
beginning.
she says.
But now
We
I'm
can
like,
still date. It's supposed to cushion it.
hot. Yeah.
I got married, so I say to her, don't you love me anymore? You know what she says? I don't know if I've ever loved you.
Ooh.
That's harsh.
Ooh, that's harsh.
Not right away.
Thanks, America.
He's like,
Somebody's
I'm
fault.
listening, friend, but this wave cannot
The door
stop.
I can
He just spent $120 on a new nightgown for his wife. I don't think he's ever going to leave her.
No one thinks he's ever gonna leave her.
You're right. I know you're right.
Marie, you gotta quit. Close your legs to married men.
Someone is staring at you in personal growth.
Something just so beautifully on the nose and meta for him to be staring at her from personal growth, assuming that he has grown as a person. When reading a scene like that, seeing that he's staring at this woman who he has made a very big impression on, she's made a very big impression on him, and it is through the personal, from the lens, from the vantage point of personal growth, that they see each other once again. And assumingly this is when the movie kind of kicks in.
This is just like in the movies, remember? The lady vanishes when she says to him, "You're the most obnoxious man I ever met."
Most contemptible.
And they fall madly in love.
Also, he never remembers me.
Sally Albright.
Sally Albright,
Hi, Harry.
diva.
It is.
We see each other.
This is Marie.
Because I will correct an incorrect movie
Where's
line
Marie?
every day of the week.
Who are you?
Maria's
Hi,
like,
Joe.
see ya.
Fine.
Work that out. What I love is that every time that we've seen them, it has been these two people who have a very clear, direct, explicit rhetoric, politic about their lives, about what they think about love, what they know about love, and they're on opposing ends of that rhetoric and politic. And every time we've seen them, there's been a changing, a melding of that rhetoric and politic, that thought, that ideology that they have about it is constantly evolving, which is what happens when you get older. We first meet them when at least Sally is in her early 20s, late teens. Then we see her when she's in her mid 20s, and now she's in her early 30s. And we see as she develops that her idea of what love and life is supposed to look like, when we see her when she's a bright-eyed, bushy-tailed college student ready to take on the big bad Big Apple. And Harry is ostensibly a little bit more seasoned, a little bit more grizzled by the world, also has that. But it's not until now where they've kind of lived a little bit more life, and maybe from just having met each other, which obviously they've stamped on each other's lives, that they see that rhetoric and politic beginning to bend a little bit. And this is the first time that they have both they're not in this very like rigid way of thinking where they're kind of going back and forth with each other. Now they're just being vulnerable with each other because it's a very vulnerable time. So I love this movie.
Finding an apartment.
Well,
What you do is you read the obituary column. You find out who died, go to the building, and then you tip the doorman. What they could do to make it easier is combine the obituaries with the real estate section. Say, then you have Mr. Klein died today, leaving a wife, 2 children, and a spacious 3-bedroom apartment with a wood-burning fireplace. See?
Harry, if only finding an apartment in New York
You know, the
was
first
that
time we
easy.
met, I really didn't like you that much.
I would have been in
I
that
didn't like
obituary
you.
section every damn
You were
day.
so- Are we becoming friends now?
Well. Yeah.
A woman friend. You know, you may be the first attractive woman I have not wanted to sleep with in my entire life.
That's wonderful, Harry.
This movie, to everyone, lean in, because this is important. Everyone who said, Bobby, your life is going to change watching this movie, hold my hand. I love you. I do. No, I do. Because it is. Like, that scene. Ooh, oh my gosh. Wow. I love love. I love love. I love banter. I love wit. Wow.
Tell him.
That's such a nice apartment. What the hell?
Up at 4 in the morning, watching Leave It
Oh
Be.
my god, I love love, but I also
Well, still
love
yesterday,
good
sleeper. ¿Dónde está Wallace
apartments.
Theater? I'm not well.
And I know they were
Well, I went to bed
like
at
paying
7:30
what,
last night. I haven't-
$1,000 a month for that?
Well, that's the good thing about life.
Oh my god, I love this. Why am I
There are
crying?
2 kinds of women. High maintenance
I just,
and low
I
maintenance.
love scenes
Low
of
maintenance?
domesticity.
And LM, definitely.
Which one?
Oh, this is such a good
Who is
shot.
it?
Are you
You're high
joking
maintenance, but you
me?
think you're low maintenance.
I don't see that.
You don't see that? Waiter, I'll begin with a house salad, but I don't want the regular dressing. I'll have the balsamic vinegar and oil, but on the side. And then the salmon with the mustard sauce, but I want the mustard sauce on the side. On the side is a very big thing for you.
I miss landlines. Remember landlines? Just a real crisp, just a real quick especially if you're upset, just slam that thing. But there's something so like tickles the brain with a very crisp. I'm gonna say it again. I love the costuming. I love the look. I love the hat. I love the gloves. I love it.
Waiter,
There's too much pepper on my paprikash,
on my paprikash.
but I would be proud to partake of your pecan pie.
Oh, no.
But I would be proud
But I would be proud.
to
A
partake
reporter
of your
and
pecan
political
pie.
consultant, my ass. These are two theater kids. I can spot them a mile away. They're 2 seconds from doing Mama Maybe We Mash My M&Ms.
You know, Harry, I think you should get out there, too.
Oh, I'm not ready.
You should.
I would not be good for anybody right now.
It's time.
The sweater. It's him and Rory Gilmore, who are the king and queen of high quality Hollywood knitwear. It has now become like social media fodder. Like if you want to hit tweet about Harry's sweater from When Harry Met Sally, and it's gonna be something along the lines of they don't make sweaters like this anymore, oh my god, blah, 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 blah. And I want you to know something. Your average queer person does not have these concerns. You want to know why? Because they are diverged into two groups: the ones who run eBay like the Marines, or the ones who have multiple sets of interchangeable knitting needles, have a keen eye for materials, makeup, things of that nature, and can whip something up like that in about a month. We are a solutions-oriented type of people. If you're like, oh, they don't make sweaters like this anymore, eBay, babe. Or make it yourself. If I would have done this, my knees would have cracked. Would have sounded like you're opening up two crab legs. Ah, this is the scene. This is the scene. Okay.
Just have an early meeting, early haircut, early squash game.
You don't play squash.
They don't know that. They just met me.
How do you know that they're really
What are
They
you saying?
fake
That they
orgasm?
fake orgasm?
possible?
Get out of here.
Oh, God. Oh, yes. 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 Oh.
I'll have what she's having.
Wow, the thing from this movie that everyone talks about. What I love about that part is that in juxtaposition, really, with the indifference with the other scene at the very beginning, when she even just blurts out the word, like, I've had sex, she immediately recoils onto herself because the whole diner gets quiet when she says it and she's embarrassed. She does that apropos of nothing. No one told her to do that, and makes much more of a meal out of making a scene, and has no qualms about it. That's character development. Oh my gosh. Seeing it in context of the movie and in contrast with that scene in the beginning of the film, brilliant scene. I love the aesthetics of Christmas. I really do. Buying a live tree has never been a part of my testimony. I guess it's because I grew up in a family where ever since I was a kid, we had a fake tree. So the idea of a live tree sounds like a nightmare. No. Go back to the beard. Go back to the beard.
That is my face. Well, dipping you.
Apart since I started seeing Arthur.
If Arthur ever left his wife and I actually met him, I am sure that you and I would drift apart.
She been right this whole time. Lord have mercy. Give it up, girl. Just get together already. What are we doing? Everybody just talk diagonal.
You and Marie are both from New Jersey.
Really?
Where are you from?
South Orange.
Haddonfield.
Oh.
And that's it.
Peek through the shutters and the ride will pop.
The wheels are yellow, the upholstery's brown.
She's coming right towards me.
How are you, Harry?
Girl, obviously not fine.
This is Iris Stone.
We had an extra room you could put all your things in, including your bar stools, and I would
Honey, wait, honey, wait. You don't like my bar stools? Harry,
Okay.
come on. Someone has to be on my side.
I get that he just may be a little bit loud. You're in my face being like, you don't like my bar stools? You need to get up on my face. How about that?
We started out like this, Ellen and I. We had blank walls, we hung things, we picked out tiles together.
Okay,
Then you know what
Harry.
happens? 6 years later, you find yourself singing Surrey with a fringe on top in front of Ira!
Okay.
We have to talk about this right now.
Alright, take a
I
beat.
think that right now
Take a
actually
beat.
is the perfect time to talk about this because I want our friends to benefit from the wisdom of my experience. Right now, everything is great. Everyone is happy. Everyone is in love. And that's wonderful. But you got to know that sooner or later, you're going to be screaming at each other about who's going to get this dish. This $8 dish will cost you $1,000 in phone calls to the legal firm of That's Mine, This Is Yours.
Harry, I don't have to take this crap from you.
If you're so over Joe, why aren't you seeing anyone?
I see people.
See people. Have you slept with one person since you broke up with Joe?
What the hell does that have to do with anything?
I'm kind of on both of their sides. My two Pookies are arguing, and I do see both sides.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, make up, because I wasn't right. Y'all are two hurt people. Don't hurt other people.
Baby, Rosemary's baby's mouth. Won't you come home, Bill Baby?
Baby, kiss the baby.
Melancholy baby's mouth.
Baby fish mouth.
Ethel
Baby
Merman.
fish mouth.
Baby fish mouth?
15 seconds.
What's that? That's not a saying.
Oh, but baby fish mouth is sweeping the nation. I hear them talking.
Oh, but baby's fish mouth is sweeping the nation. As long as he was doing as good or worse as her, she was fine. She could deal with it.
But the truth is, you didn't want to marry me.
Fucking finally. Ugh. I've been waiting forever for this. Get together. Now kiss. Can't read his face. Is it horror or surprise? I'm screwed. I'm screwed.
I gotta go. Gotta go home, I gotta change my clothes, and then I have to go to work, and so do you. But after work, I'd like to take you out to dinner if you're free. Are you free?
Yes,
Fine, I'll call you later.
fine.
No one I know would call at this hour.
I did something terrible.
What did you do?
No one I know would call at this
It's
hour.
so awful.
I need to talk.
What happened?
What's the matter?
Harry came over last
I
night
went over to Sally's last night.
because I was upset that Joe was getting
And
married.
one thing led to another.
And before I knew it, we were
To
kissing,
make
and
a long
then
story short,
we did it.
They did it.
That's great, Sally.
We've been praying for
We
it.
should have done it in the first place. The
I
worst.
had to get out of there.
He just disappeared.
I feel so bad.
I'm so embarrassed.
I don't blame you.
That's
I
horrible.
think I'm coming down with
I
something.
think I'm catching a cold.
Look, it would have been great if it worked out, but
I would love to see this. I would love to see the screenplay for this. I want to see those pages. I gotta see those pages.
Jane Fonda, at least
This
you
is
know.
a dance. This is a dance.
Now stay.
I just hope I get to say it first.
I hope she says it before I do.
They already know what each other is thinking.
It was a mistake.
I am so relieved that you think so too.
Ooh, and now
Not
you think so
saying last night
too.
wasn't
Ooh.
It was.
It's like that scene from Euphoria.
We just never should have.
I don't think so, but why don't you do? Like, why don't you think so?
I'm so.
Chomping the hell out of that lettuce. What did that spring mix do to you? The romaine.
It's just like most of the time you go to bed with someone. She tells you her stories.
Not them speed walking.
Oh, Sally and me, we'd already heard each other's stories. So once we went to bed, we didn't know what we were supposed to do, you know?
Sure, Harry.
Is Harry bringing anyone to the wedding?
I don't think so.
Is he seeing anyone?
He was seeing this anthropologist, but
What does she look like?
thin, pretty, big tits. Your basic nightmare.
First of all, if having big tits makes you a nightmare, I am the boogeyman.
Harry.
What?
I don't want to talk about this.
Why not?
I don't want to talk about it.
Why can't we get past this? I mean, are we gonna carry this thing around forever?
Forever. It just happened.
It happened 3 weeks ago. Looked up at me with his big weepy eyes. Don't go home tonight.
It would have
Harry.
been in
Hold
the
me a little
back.
longer,
So.
Harry.
Ooh,
What was I
what
supposed
did they
to do?
say?
What are you saying? You took pity on me?
No, I was...
Fuck you!
He took pity on her? Ooh! That's the one thing about watching movies from around this time. You see these gorgeous apartments, and you're like, we have been stripped of so much in our regular lives that I'm longing for affordable rent in a nice neighborhood in a big
The fact
city.
that you're not answering leads me to believe...
Like it's a dream.
Tell the one who digs you only I can be so warm and tender.
How many tapes has he filled up clogging her voicemail box like that?
Call me,
Don't be afraid to just phone moi.
call me and I'll be around.
Give me a call.
Girl, please pick up the phone.
Hi. You realize, of course, that we can never be friends.
Why not?
What I'm saying is that men and women can't be friends because the sex part always gets in the way.
That's not true.
No man can be friends with a woman he finds attractive. He always wants to have sex with her.
What if they don't want to have sex with you?
Doesn't matter, because the sex thing is already out there, so the friendship is ultimately doomed, and that is the end of the story.
Well, I guess we're not gonna be friends then.
Guess not.
It's too bad. 'Cause you were the only person that I knew in New York.
Run, Harry. Run for your love. Here comes the tears. He ran across New York. Freaking Frankie Sinatra in the background. What are we doing?
I've been doing a lot of thinking, and the thing is, I love you. And I love that you are the last person I want to talk to before I go to sleep at night. And it's not because I'm lonely, and it's not because it's New Year's Eve. I came here tonight because when you realize you want to spend the rest of your life with somebody, you want the rest of your life to start as soon as possible.
That is just like you, Harry. You say things like that and you make it impossible for me to hate you. I really hate you.
Fucking movie. Yeah.
3 months later, we got married.
Yeah, it only took 3 months.
12 years and 3 months.
We had a really wonderful wedding.
It really was a
It was great.
beautiful
We had
wedding.
this enormous coconut cake.
Huge coconut cake with the tears, and there was this very rich chocolate sauce on the side.
Right, because not everybody likes
On
it
the side.
because it makes it very soggy.
Particularly the coconut soaks up a lot of that stuff, so it's important to keep it on the side.
Oh my god. Wow. A film. Wow. That was legitimately one of the most romantic films I've ever seen in my life. I mean, if you love banter and wit and just a complete and utter like mental connection with someone where it feels like you could finish their sentences and they could finish yours, and they just know you and they get you, and that was amazing. That was amazing. That was so good. I knew it was going to be good. But that was so good. That was When Harry Met Sally. What did you think? I know most of you have seen this film, so I'd love to know, do you love this film? Do you hate this film? If you hate this film, I've got a lot of questions because I don't know what there is to not really like about it. But let me know all of that in the comments down below. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, do all the things. As always, I'm Bobby. This is Culture Kitsch. I do not have an outro yet, but I will see you next week.